Next thing is welcome. I think I've kind of already covered that. Glad to have everybody, and I want to mention that we need to work on membership. And please, if you know anybody who is going to retire or has retired and they're not a member of our local group, let us know so we can work on them, or you let them know to contact us. And we want to bring them into the fold because we need the local membership. And our speaker today is one of the reasons that I say that. TRTA in Austin does a magnificent job of representing our interests with the legislature. But we've got to identify the candidates here that will go to Austin and listen to them. And we have not done a good job of that. I'll just be frank with you. If teachers would vote for the right candidates, we wouldn't be in this mess from this last legislature. You know, we were really let down last time. Some of y'all are, every time you see your insurance deduction, I'm sure it's shocking. The first time it had to be a big shock. I don't know how you do it. You know, it hurt me too, but I know some of y'all got hurt a whole lot worse. And anyway, that's why we've got to be diligent and work at getting to the polls for figuring out who's going to represent us and voting for those people and getting out to the polls and voting. I've tried to send out all the information I can on how to get registered and where to go according to where you live. If you have any questions about that, don't hesitate to call me or email me. I'll put you in.
Just real quick, now as far as voting, you can vote anywhere. If you're in Smith County, you can vote at any of the locations now. So they have made it a lot easier now to vote. And basically all you need is your driver's license and they will swipe it and pull your information up.
Remember, you got to have that ID now. It's another one of those things. Yes, ma'am.
And I think early voting starts October 22nd.
October 22nd? Yeah, well, I was going to send something out on that in another week or two. But voter registration, there's also a deadline for that to vote in the next election. So if you're not registered, do so right away. There's still time to make it. Anyway, I've tried to bring people to talk to us that did you have a question?
I was going to talk about ID. I've got a friend in a wheelchair, a motorized wheelchair. Since she wasn't driving anymore, she let her driver's license expire. She's a retired teacher from the White House area. So she wanted to vote in their bond election last time. She goes up there, early voting to do so, and she can't vote. So they sent her to the DPS. She goes out there, and because their records have not been brought up like in the last, like they've been bringing up the records to a certain point, and hers was not in that group. She had to go back home. She couldn't find, obviously, her Social Security number card because she hadn't worked in a long time. So she had to go to the Social Security office and get proof of that, and she had to bring her birth certificate. So her husband drives her back to the DPS. They do that, except they still don't have enough because her maiden name is listed on the driver's license and her husband's last name. They have to go back home and dig out their marriage license. Yeah, she's in a motorized wheelchair.
I understand.
She let her driver's license expire because she can't drive anymore.
Well, I'm going to make a brief comment about that, and then we're going to have to move on. I try to withhold my anger when this comes up. This was by design to keep people from voting, to keep the people from voting that wouldn't vote for a certain party. It targeted at those people, and because there's more of those people than there are in any other party. There's been lots of, that's one piece of integrated strategy to keep one party in power. And there's quite a few other things that have been done. We don't have time to go into that. But that being said, don't wait till the last minute, because if you don't have the current driver's license, you may have to jump through some hoops to get an ID that will be accepted. And,
At the next meeting, the only reason I know this information is because I work when they are registered. I work doing voting. There are other forms that you can use, and I don't know about the school bond, but as far as voting in the different elections, there are other types of identification you can use. And the next meeting, I can bring that information.
You got a provisional ballot.
Yes. But the identification, because some people don't have driver's license, but you can, it's other forms of identification that you can use.
I'm gonna come back to that later, but Neal Katz is with us. He's an independent candidate for Representative District 6. He's going to run against Matt Schaefer. Let me tell you a couple things about him. I'm going to try to keep it brief, because I know he's got to go to, he's teaching a class at UT Tyler. That's why we moved this meeting up. Anyway, he's a rabbi at Bethel. He's been involved in this community for quite a few years, serving on nonprofit board, teaches at UT Tyler, TJC. He's speaks at over 80 local churches and schools. He's been an advocate for public education for a long time. And he was endorsed by Lieutenant Governor Bill Ratliff. I don't know if y'all remember Governor Ratliff or not, but you have to go back that far to find somebody that was a very strong advocate. Well, not that far, really, but, really responsible, supportive people. We don't have enough of those anymore. And Bill Ratliff was an example of the kind of person that we need. Anyway, he endorsed Neal, and I think that's a great thing. Neal, are you ready? I'm sorry it takes so long before you got started.
Thank you, Mark. And so I apologize. I teach a 2 o'clock class at UT Tyler. I told the students that I'd be late, that they need to just do some research while they're waiting for me. But I also said this was important, so I thank you for accommodating me. For those who haven't met me, again, I'm Neal, and I appreciate Mark's intro. I'm running for the Texas House of Representatives from District 6. The running joke in the campaign is nobody knows what District 6 is. There was a local elected official back when we were getting ballot signatures, and I said, my campaign person said to this woman, what district are you in? Are you in our district? Are you in District 6? And they said, no, I'm in District 3. Well, I know where they live, and I said, no, so you're actually in District 6, and they got mad at me, and they pounded, no, I'm in District 3. And I thought, of course they think they're in District 3, because they're in School District 3, but City Council District 2, or Precinct, Commissioner Precinct 1, House District 6. So here's what we know about House District 6. It's 76% of Smith County. It's all within Smith County. And most importantly for our purposes here, District 6 is Tyler Public Schools, White House, Bullard, and Chapel Hill. Those are the 4 major school districts that comprise our House District. There are 150 House districts all throughout Texas. In every single House district throughout the state, there is, not every single one, but most of them that are contested between a Republican and a Democrat. There's one race in the entire 150 where there's an independent on the ballot, and that's right here in District 6. There is no Democrat running this go around, so it's just me versus Matt. So this particular November 6th, we have an option to put somebody down there who is not party affiliated. We can talk about that later if you want, but it's a source of pride for me because I knew going into this race, to run the campaign I wanted to run, to get the messaging I wanted to get, to not be dismissive of one or the other. I wanted to make sure that hyper-local issues became the forefront of my campaign. And that's where I was 12 months ago, and that's where I still am today. I'm an advocate for public education. Why? Well, I grew up in public ed. My children are in public ed. My kids went in Belmore Lee, and one is going Bell Hubbard Lee. But I've been very active as well. I was principal for a day. That means nothing. It just means that I got to watch one of the local principals do their amazing work. I also have a lot of friends in the teacher world. And I know they talk a lot about what goes on as educators as well. I'm in the business, I tell people I'm in the business of listening. So for 18 years, I've been involved with this community, and I've been in the business of listening. And what I've been hearing from all the different sectors is a lack of leadership in this representative seat. But putting that aside for now, that's the political piece of this puzzle. What I've been hearing from the public ed community is that they need a cheerleader. They need an advocate. They need somebody who's going to go down there and fight for them. And that was always the front piece of my campaign, was making sure that I support public ed. Number one, it's our constitutional and our moral obligation by our children. There are 29,000 students in the school district, and I want to make sure that they are represented by representing their schools, their teachers, their administrations, and their families. So that's number one for me, why we support public ed. The other reason is I'm interested in the economic impact of public ed. I just drove here quickly from the Chamber of Commerce meeting. Today was my last day on their board for my term. But as a Chamber of Commerce person, I recognize the economic impact. One of my favorite stories comes from Tom Mullins, and he said, look, for 30 years, Tom has been trying to get businesses to come to Tyler through the Economic Development Council. He said, in 30 years, how many of them have called me and asked me what our tax rate was? None. How many have called and asked what our bond rating was? None. How many have called and asked what our debt ratio is? None. They all call and ask the same questions. What are our schools like, our parks, and our roads? And the light bulb goes off and you realize, well, that's what's driving people to come to Tyler. That's where we should be investing as well. I also spent I'm now probably in year 4 or 5, involved with a group called the Tyler Area Partnership for Education. A very unglamorous title for a group of people who are interested in data crunching the public ed world here in Smith County. And what we know and what we found out, and this isn't a surprise to this room here, is that our regional economy will stagnate if we don't invest now in our public schools. So we have an economic impact. We have the moral and the constitutional reasoning to support our schools, but there's also an economic driver to support our public schools. Bill Ratliff, when he endorsed me, former lieutenant governor, Republican, kind of an elder statesman, why would he support an independent? Because if you read his endorsement, it's because he knows that I'm sincere about supporting public education. And for him, that cuts across party lines. He said, I don't need to support a Republican just because they're a Republican. I want to support the person who's going to support public ed. And he and I talked about that, and it was a big deal for me. And his son, Thomas Ratliff, former State Board of Education chair, has also been very supportive. I just last week found out I got another endorsement. For me, it's a big deal. I don't know if it plays out in the Smith County community, but it's called the Texas Parent PAC. And Texas Parent PAC is sort of the gold standard of educational endorsements, because the people who make up Texas Parent PAC are representatives from the ATPE and the TCTA and the TSTA and the AFT and TRTA, Brock Gregg was there, and a bunch of other organizations. So they come together to guide the Texas Parent PAC. And it was about a 10-month process for me to get that endorsement. Because they wanted to dismiss me, right? There's some Looney Tune independent running out of Tyler against Matt Schaefer. But it took them 10 months to realize that A, I was serious, B, I got on the ballot, nobody else in all the other districts did. C, while some people are raising $5,000, $10,000 for their campaigns, we're over at $100,000 at this point. So it's a legitimate campaign, and something really can happen this November with your help. But I want to just finish, and I know I'm talking fast, I want to talk about specifically retired teachers. Here's what I've learned in the business of listening. Here's what I know. I would have a job when I go down to Austin. That is, number one, to protect. Right? Protect the defined pension benefit plan that goes for the TRS. I know that there have been attempts to turn it into a 401k system. We've done our research. Who benefits from the 401k change? The fund managers who get fees out of that process. It doesn't go back to the teachers. So to protect the defined pension benefit is goal number one. Goal number two, and this is very complicated, is ultimately is to fund. So one is to protect, two is to fund. To fund the TRS back to zero. Like right now we're at a deficit because they messed with the estimated rate of return. There's going to be a $1.6 billion gap just in the TRS to get it back to the 31-year actuarially sound designation. That's boring weeds information, but I need to know that information because when I go down to Austin, I want to make sure we can get to that number, because once we get back to that 31 year, then we can have a discussion, and only then, about cost of living increases, annuity increases, things that are important for our retired teachers, because we can't have a discussion as long as we don't fund the TRS. So it takes $1.6 billion, actually $2 billion now, just to get us to zero, just to get us back even. Who's going to go down there and fight for that? Somebody who believes in the importance of our retired teachers. So number one, I want to protect the defined pension. Number two, I want to work on funding that's going to get us where we need to be. And three, I want to keep the promise that our community and our state has made to our teachers. And I know that going into the world of public education, you all commit yourselves to a lifetime of work that you're not going to make millions in the public ed world. But one of the things that we do is we promise that when you retire, you're going to have a livable retirement. So rising healthcare costs decrease your actual monthly take home, which is very difficult. It's true not just for teachers and retired teachers, it's true for law enforcement. I hate hearing that our local law enforcement are making less now than they were 3 years ago because of the rising healthcare costs. The same is true in public ed as well and retired teachers. So it's an important point for somebody going into Austin to realize that our relationship with retired teachers is a promise. And that we have to keep that promise by making sure that we protect the fund as it is, that we can fund it where it needs to be, and that we understand the role that retired teachers have played in helping us invest in Texas. So ultimately, that's what I want to do. I'm asking for your vote. I'm asking for your help on November 6th, or if you want to do early voting, there's going to be early voting starting October 22nd. And ultimately, this is all out of the box for Tyler. One piece of this is out of the box. An independent rabbi, well, we're at it, let's just make it crazier, running. But the answer is yes, and we're the only place in the state that has this opportunity. Back in March when I had my kickoff speech, I made a comment. I said, we would be the first in the state to push back and have an independent. Well, I didn't realize at the time that we would be the only place in the state that had that opportunity. It's out of the box on one hand because it's not a Republican Democrat. I'm done with that. I want to focus on issues that matter to our community. But it's really not out of the box because anybody who should be standing up here should be fighting for those same things. Fighting for the retired pension benefit, leaving it defined, making sure that we fund it correctly, and making sure that we keep our promise. So I'm going to end there and thank you all for your time. And do we have time for a couple questions? Or I'm going to text my students and tell them I'll be on my way in a little bit. So.
I'm sure they'll be upset.
Yeah, they'll be upset. Unless they're playing the 15-minute professor game. I did want to mention one thing. Just in the back of your mind, October 9th, if you hear about this is not a campaign thing, but I'm excited because Pastors for Texas Children, which is a hardcore group of pro-public education voices, they're doing an event here in Tyler at First Christian Church the morning of October 9th. You all will hear about it or see it or get invited to it. The keynote will be Dr. Mike Moses, the former Commissioner of Education. Bill Ratliff will be there as well. He's going to be given an award. And there'll be a couple other speakers. But they're going to be making the argument on that day the pro-public ed community needs to support pro-public ed candidates. And so I'll be in the audience that day, but I want to share that with you because we're excited that that's coming in town.
What's it called?
I think it's called the Public Education Rally, something exciting. But it's October 9th, it's a Tuesday, I think it's 7:30 in the morning. Sorry.
You know, a possible solution for the healthcare.
I'm sorry?
How it affect,
Say it again?
proposed solutions for healthcare and how it affects retired personnel.
Right, so the question is about healthcare and how it affects retired. I don't know everything about everything. I'm just going to admit that up front, right? So I don't have every single answer. What I do know, and this is me listening to TRTA and Brock Gregg, is that because they mess with the way in which your retirement healthcare system is designed, you all are paying a higher out of cost for your premiums. Is that correct?
Right.
I think part of that answer is going back and funding the TRS and that healthcare program correctly. Again, I don't have every weeds answer this minute, but yeah, that's where my heart would be. Did you have a question? Yeah.
What are you teaching?
At UT Tyler?
Yes.
They have a religion minor that they work on, so I teach in the religion minor department in the Introduction to Judaism. I think it's my 6th year teaching this class, but the kids are interested. The people that are, they're not all kids. They're taking they themselves want to go into ministry or international relations or criminal law or something like that. So it's kind of a large mix of kids. Students, sorry, who go to that, but that's what I teach over there. I teach it one semester a year. Yeah.
We heard how you feel about public education and retired teachers. If we want to know more about your platform.
Sure. Well, thanks for that. That wasn't set up, but yeah. So I have a website, Katz for Texas, all spelled out, K-A-T-Z-F-O-R, Texas. Katz for Texas, and that's where I go through my priorities. And my priorities, back when I started, it never changed. The priorities are public education, property tax reduction, which is related to public education in terms of its funding mechanism, making sure we have a voice for roads and transportation in our community, and mental health and healthcare access. I'm involved heavily with the Samaritan Counseling Center. It's the nonprofit mental counseling center here. I'm one of the founding board members. So that's another area of interest of mine as well. So all that's on the website, Katz for Texas. I'm pretty active on Facebook and Twitter as well. So and we're going to be at Lola's tonight if anyone wants to stop in for a free sandwich. From 6 to 8. We've got a campaign event there. I know the League of Women Voters is doing a candidate forum in October. So I believe it's October 8th, it's a Monday night. That's all I know about it, is that it's happening. And to Wayne, your question about you asked about the date?
Yeah.
So October 9th is the public ed rally. That's a Tuesday morning. November 6th is the election, a month later.
Now say that again.
So October 9th is the public education rally that I was mentioning.
Yeah.
That'll be on Tuesday morning. A month later, November 6th is the actual election. I'll tell you a fun fact. I was telling this to Janie and Bill this past weekend. My son turns 18 the day of election. So he turns it. So I think I planned it that way all those years ago. So we just did a video with him. I haven't seen it yet, but it's a video of him talking about how his first day voting will be a chance to vote for me. Hopefully I can be his vote. So I'm happy to answer any other questions. Or if you want to, I'm very accessible. You can find my number or Facebook message me or email me and I'll respond within a few minutes. My goal would be to promote this community, retired teachers down in Austin. They don't really have an advocate down there. I'm not really going to spend much of my time here talking about Matt, but I'm going to make the simple argument that we have an opportunity on November 6th to put finally a cheerleader and an advocate for the active and retired teacher community down there, and that's what I want to be. And if I go down there and I'm not, get me out of there, because that's where my energy needs to be, and that's where all legislators' energy needs to be in Austin. So thank you all for letting me come and share today with you.
Thank you, Neal. Appreciate you taking time to be with us today. Let's see, do we have some new members down here?
We do. Well, I know we have at least one. If you are a new member this year, would you please stand? So will you share with us your name and where you retired from?
Okay, my name is Paula Jackson, and I live in Tyler, and I taught at Jacksonville ISD at Jacksonville Middle School, 8th grade science for 21 years. And, yeah, I deal with those people that, and I still sub there, nobody else wants to sub at middle school, so. And so that's what I do.
Well, thank you so much. And Dr. Bruce.
Yes.
And we have.
Thanks, Marla. Welcome to Paul.
Excuse me.
She's going to be talking to us in a few minutes.
We have a gift for you. Oh, yeah. Is this one?
Thank you.
Jan, do you have anything to report?
I did a pretty brief financial report. If you have any questions, you're welcome to look at the checkbook. It's all in there.
We'll get it next time. Hopefully we'll have the treasury next time too. The next thing we have is, yes, ma'am.
Mark, I brought two ladies who have moved here recently, and they are planning to be members. They're not members yet, but they are, this is their first time.
Let's get them hooked up then. Would you like to introduce?
Okay, this is Laura Cooper, she moved here from McKinney, and this is Millie Green, and she moved here from Post, Arkansas.
Wonderful. Let's be sure to up on them before they leave. Try to get their name on the dotted line back there. from Arkansas, huh? That's interesting. I have a friend that I graduated from high school with that works, is a principal in the Fountain District in Arkansas, right across the line. I saw him at a high school reunion last spring. I couldn't believe how much better Arkansas teachers have, how much better their retirement system is than ours. It's just embarrassing that the great state of Texas doesn't do more for school teachers than they do. Arkansas has not had near the wealth that Texas has, but they do better for the teachers. Okay, birthdays. Before we do that, I want to mention Winnie Lee Jackson is not here today because she is at an event with Mother Francis.
Yes.
Yeah, they're doing something for her. She turned 100 today. Today is her birthday. And I think we'll try, like she said, I think she's going to be here next time, so we'll try to do something special for her at the next meeting. So this is the book that they gave her out at Holly Tree in honor of her birthday, the event that they did out there. And that's really nice. Let's see, Jan, are you ready to do birthdays?
Sure, I'll be. While they're coming up, I've had a couple legislative things. I'm sure all of you got the TRS news about the assumption rate and how they went down. Yeah, I got mine last week, I think. But I just want to encourage you, if you go to any like candidate meetings or anything, it says TRS will request a contribution rate increase between 1.5 and 2% in the budget request to the Texas legislator. So the people running, like Neal, and the people that are already there need to know about this. And if we don't bring it up to them, they won't have a clue what's going on. So if you'll be sure and read that, and if you go to something like this candidate forum, he mentioned that, but it's at the public library on October 8th, and they've invited Representative Goldmer and whoever's running against him, Cole Hefner and whoever's running against him, and then Matt Schaefer's district, and then there's some county judges and commissioners. So this was in the Sunday paper, so if you were interested in going.
Well, we need to get that, maybe we need to send an email out with that
It
information.
says these people were invited, doesn't mean they're actually coming,
Yeah.
but you know, that's how. We need to get out there and make sure we tell people what we want.
Anyway, well, thanks, Jane, and we'll get together on the dates and we'll put, maybe we can send something, Debbie, I get Debbie to send something out.
Okay.
Everybody, have something, in an email that information. Okay, Jan?
Sure. You have a birthday in September. We'd like you to come to the front.
Can I go even though I'm in November?
Oh, I guess I'm getting in the back. Oh, sorry. This is one. This is one. Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you. There you go.
Just to give us I'd like to issue a challenge to this group. You've heard some interesting things this morning, and there's more on the way. I would like to see this group, the Smith County group, commit to going to Austin on our Valley Day or any other time that it's important for legislation that comes before our representatives and our senators, that we need to challenge and be sure that they get the word, that we have a caravan of cars going to Austin, letting our voice be heard to each one, and come back and headed a trip down there in a car with 4 people with the same objectives in mind is worth the trip if you never even go to Austin. So get your keys out, get your cars fixed up, and let's get in a row and go down to Austin, Texas, and sit up there and let our voices be known, and then go to each office and talk to each of our representatives there. People, please, it is so vital, especially this year. Let's go. Our pensions are in danger. Please do this. You're gonna talk about it.
That's why I'm wearing my red today. That might be a good idea, everybody wear red every time we get together. Now, Margaret, are you talking about during the convention, or are you talking about another time?
I would go twice. Anytime, especially rally day when we're all supposed to be. Some districts just are, they are 20 or 25 people there, all together, and they let their voice be known. And every time that we've gone as a group, our senators and our representatives says, we need more people to go, we need you to be prepared, you need to read those newsletters, you need to read your voice documents, listen to what our speakers are saying, and be prepared. If we don't stand up and fight for our own self, who's going to do it? We've got to do it. So, but convention time, if we're meeting, let's go. Rally time, let's go.
Well, the convention is also on my announcements, because the dates this year are April 1, 2, and 3. And we desperately need to get some more people attending the convention. The same 4 or 5 people have been going over the last several years. And I've been one of them. I had to miss one because my wife had knee replacement surgery. But we've got to get some more people involved in that and interested and informed about how the organization works and all that. You just have to get more involved.
And April 3rd of that day is the Wednesday that we could go, and I have a car that would hold 8 people. So if I'm not at the convention, I'll be glad to take a group down.
April 3rd is the day that we go to
And we go to the Capitol. And then, what I think we need to do, like, I live in Boulder, so my people are not your people. My person I vote for is not Matt Schaefer and Brian Hughes. So, and I know you live in Palestine. We've got some people, and those that live in Chandler. We've got to think about those people. We need to also go see those people. I mean, that even though I can't vote for you, I have this lady here that can. You know, so that we get our, so we need to make sure we know the people from, you know, we've got people from other areas that don't necessarily live right here in Tyler. So the people that we're seeing sometimes are not always, because last time we went, Marilyn and I went to see Matt Schaefer, we signed in, and Brian Hughes, and then I tried to go see Travis Clardy, and he wasn't in either. Robert Nichols was way down in the basement somewhere, I couldn't find him. So we need to make sure that we, you know, get our word out to people who aren't necessarily just Smith County legislators.
That's a good point, but we need to start thinking about this now. I learned last year that you have to start reserving hotel rooms now for April. What happens is that other units reserve a bunch of rooms, and you call in January and everything's full. Well, they'll start canceling rooms because people decide not to go, but you never know. So we need to, if you have any interest in going, please let us know, because we need to start getting busy on that.
It's the third rally day.
Yes, ma'am.
It always is.
Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. Mhm.
You'll then.
If you can put that on your calendar.
Mark, we 2 or 3 times we rented the van, and the folks that run the van between here and Dallas to the airport take us down. They drove. We left about 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You know, we didn't have to worry about staying awake. And they county road, that was really pretty convenient to do, and we might.
Well, I know the guy that runs that service, so if we want to do that, I'm certainly in favor of it if we have the number of people that to do that.
How many of the band hold, you know?
Well, it's usually 15 passions.
Okay,
And, but
okay.
you know, they may have some others, I don't know. I just have to ask them, I don't know.
Well, anyway, let's,
Do we have a bid?
please let me or one of the officers know if you're interested, so we can get started on making arrangements. And, yeah, I'd be all for that if we could get a number of people to. Okay. Okay, Paula, you ready to talk to us about Texas for Public Education? You got probably about 3 minutes. Before they start.
I know, but I'm new here, and that's all we're doing. My name's Paula Jackson, and we are the Purple Party, okay? And meaning that we don't see the red and the blues and the white, okay? We are the education party. And I had put one of these on everybody's chair, not everybody, but one of these, and it has a brief letter, I guess it was brief, on the front, and I'm with Texans for Public Education. Okay, we're a nonprofit, we don't even worry about money, we don't have money, okay? And there's no money to join, it's a Facebook group, and I will tell you, when I first found out about Texans for Public Education was last summer. And the reason why is because I saw from House Bill 3976 that I was going to lose a whole bunch of money out of my retirement that went to health care. And so that's when I started getting involved, and I found out there was a whole lot of people just like me. And so I'm now a moderator with the group, and basically it's just, I mean, you have to approve posts that go on our main website, and we also approve members that want to apply. Okay, we do have a stipulation for being a member. There's a lot of people that follow us, but they're not members. Okay, and anyways, what we do is we do the legwork. There's about 30 of us that are researchers, and on the back of your letter that I put there, and I used it because Neal was here, but on that, it's easy to understand what we do. I have Matt Schaefer up here, and I have Neal Katz. Okay, and this is all in a spreadsheet. And we do this for every single candidate, incumbent or also the new candidates like Neal. And we put all the information into a spreadsheet. We vote on those candidates as far as rating, and we rate them according to friendly, neutrals, or unfriendly to education. That's all we're concerned about is basically how do they feel about education. And so last summer when I joined, there was about 5,000 members at that time. And it had been in existence for about 3 or 4 years, but apparently it wasn't as active as last summer, right before special session. And so then a bunch of us, and since that time up to this summer, we're now over 26,000 members in 1 year. So we've gone from 5,000 to 26,000 members. And we're still, I think I approved about 5 or 6 members in the last few days. Okay? Now, to be a member of the group, and it is something that a lot of people are not willing to do, and I understand that. And to be a member, you have, Mark is a member, Neal is a member, but he's a candidate. Is there anybody else in here that's a member of Texans for Public Education? Nobody? Okay.
No, but I'll become one.
All right, good for you. But first you better listen to what the priority, what it is. Okay, we as members of the group promise that we are going to stick together for the first time in Texas history, that Texas teachers are going to stand, up for what's going on in Austin. And in order to be a member, you have to basically pledge that you will be able to vote nonpartisan, and not only that, block vote. And block vote, what that means, if you see on here on the back of this sheet, Matt Schaefer not only has the unfriendly rating, and I'll go through just a few examples as to why he has that, but you'll notice down below, Neal Katz, and it has block vote. That means everybody in House District 6 that are members of Texas for Public Education, and those people that follow along with us, but they won't become a member because of, the promise to do that, they're going to do this. Okay, and that means everybody in our group, we're going to vote for Neal Katz. Okay, because we need to put him in. And I'll tell you the one reason why. If you have one of these sheets, I have them different places. We don't vote on the person. I have run against a lot of people that I know that, and Matt may be a nice person. I'm not after him because of personality. Okay, but I'm after, he's been inefficient, okay, with public education. And last year, through special session, there was a very, very important House bill that went through. And I spent all last summer on my iPad watching all the hearings and everything, but you can do that. You can get on your computer and you can watch the hearings as they take place. And House Bill 21 came up through the special session, and it's sponsored by Dan Huberty, who he is a friend of public education. He is a block vote. He's the chairman of, I forget which committee, I think it's education. This bill, House Bill 21, was going to fund TRS. It was going to shore up TRS healthcare. It was going to, healthcare and retirement are two different funds, if you do know that. Okay, they're two different entities. And retirement has always been one of the top 5 in the nation. It has lots of money, okay? But now due to the rate of return changing, that's going to affect all the people that aren't even retired. Okay, so the newbies, they have no idea what's going on. So it's up to us that are following all this stuff to keep telling them, this is going on now. Now it's affecting you, okay? But anyways, House Bill 21 was going to also fund special programs with schools. It was going to fund transportation for schools. I don't know if you know, but Austin ISD pays over $2 million a year because of toll roads. They actually get charged for their school buses that take kids to and from school. Okay, to me that was ridiculous. But anyways, it was to help. It was for salary increases and everything else. And what they were going to do, they were going to take, I forget how many millions or billions or whatever dollars out of the ESF. People know that as the rainy day funds. Okay, and there is tons of money in the ESF. And Mike Collier, who is running for lieutenant governor, and that is who we are going to support. Okay, he is a CPA. He knows where the money is. He is going to, and his main thing is education. Okay, that's one of his main things that he's going to be, and he's running on. He is going to take the money out of the ESF. Okay, but in this House bill, and it was passed by the House overall, but individually getting to that, our Matt Schaefer voted no. That he was not willing to have the funds come out of ESF, okay, for all these programs. So therefore, but as a whole, okay, it did pass the House. Then it went to the Senate. And I watched that go on all day until the night, and the House, a lot of them are friends, and they fought tooth and nail. And basically the Senate rewrote the whole bill. And they did not want to take out ESF. They were robbing Medicaid and everything else to pay for some of this stuff. Yes, it did get our premiums reduced down from $600 to, or whatever it was. I pay $689 a month for me and my husband. We're not on Medicare yet. And according to TRS, us 365 retirees are the ones that caused this mess. And it started way back in 1998, and I wasn't even thinking of retiring then. So I know it wasn't, you know, and my battle was with TRS too. You know, I fight a lot of battles on Facebook, and I write to a whole bunch of people. But anyways, they slaughtered it, and it was completely different, and it was the last bill of the whole special session. And basically what it was is the people that were Friends of Education, Senate says, this is what we're gonna give you, and if you don't take it, we're not giving you anything. Okay, so that's where that went in. And so, but now it did help us a little bit. You know, I think I would think I was gonna lose like $400, you know, now I'm only losing $300 a month. That's $3,600 a year that I'm losing out of my monthly income. So which means I've gone from wanting to sub to having to sub now in order to make ends meet. Anyways, there's a bunch to it. But anyways, this is our pamphlet. If you do not, or you feel in your heart you cannot make a commitment to block vote with us, I will tell you Brian Hughes is the next one to go. But he's not up right now. Okay, but anyways, if you want to join, that's fine. If you find in your heart that you cannot do the block voting, nonpartisan thing, you can still follow us. If you go to www.texaspubliceducation.com, it's all on this thing. It'll come up with a face page, and if you want to just kind of look and see what we've done, if you go all the way to the bottom of the face page, you'll see 3 buttons. Okay, one is for SBOE. We have a really good person. Kevin Ellis is really good. Okay, SBOE and state office, which is Patrick and Abbott. Hopefully they're going to get out. Okay, and then it also has senators, and it has the House. And if you click on the bottom 3 buttons, you will see all the spreadsheet, all the research that we do behind rating every single person. Okay, so it's data-based. Okay, it's not like a fly-by-night thing. We go by this and we vote on that. Anyways, this is what it looks like. Okay, so I don't know if you have any questions or whatever about it. But anyways, I think I put pretty much everything in this letter that if you need a copy, I have more of them. I also have business cards and everything like this. This is out of my pocket to get this stuff copied and everything else, okay? We don't have any t-shirts out of our pocket, okay? But anyways, if you want some extra ones or whatever, I have this stuff. Please let active teachers know what is going on. Because if we don't vote and get these unfriendlies out, it's going to get a lot worse than what it is right now.
Let me ask a question. Active teachers, aren't a lot of members, active teachers?
A lot are, but in this organization are past admins. Okay, he was my son's principal, and bless his heart, he had to put up with an awful lot with my son. Okay, it was definitely, it takes a village to raise a kid.
Well, we've talked about this before. I've given the information on where to go to see the site, and thank you for bringing that information. And I do need to say that we're not going to, this organization is not going to endorse anybody.
We can't.
I just encourage you to get all the information you can about all the candidates and make an informed choice, but be sure to make a choice and go to the polls. This is one tool. We've given you and they have a Facebook page also.
At our group, we can't endorse because we have no money. Okay, we don't write our money, but we do support, like Neal Katz, okay? I was with his group at Juneteenth celebration, trying to get enough signatures so his name can get on the ballot. Okay, I've been with him at different functions and everything, trying to make people aware of them. And then when I leave here, after this is over, I'm going home and I have 72 postcards to make out in order to send to people for Neal Katz to get his name out there. So, but that's something that I do with my own time.
Be sure and look at the Facebook page, and go, if you haven't already. I've been getting their messages for a long time, but I did meet Troy's Reynolds at the Education Forum Saturday in Canton, and visited with him for a while and learned him speaking. He's the principal in Splendora, and he runs the website for the Facebook, the website, I guess, both for the.
He's got.
He's more or less behind it. I don't know exactly what the titles were or title, but please take a look at that.
And one of the things I put in here too is when you're looking at candidates, you have to look at who's back. Plus money talks, okay? And Empower Texans, they were after a lot of active teachers for possibly using website at school for political things, and they weren't. And they were looking for whistleblower. I mean, it's a mess. I mean, it really is. And we have a fight in front of us. And it has the Constitution at the bottom, okay, of where it can be found that it is the state's responsibility to support education, and we're part of education.
Thank you, Paul, and I'm glad you decided to join today. And I want to say too, we need a historian. Our historian has decided not to continue, and that involves taking photographs of our events and whatever things that are related to what we do, and things that a scrapbook involved. Lynn Fisher volunteered or she was asked, she didn't actually volunteer, to take pictures today, and but she can't do it every time because she's doing other things back there, and I can't do it because I'm doing this, but it doesn't involve a huge amount of work, but we just need someone to step in and fill in. And I have a camera that somebody can use if they don't have one. Everybody got phones now that take pictures, and actually take pretty good pictures. Future meetings, when is the next meeting is October the 9th, is that right? I think it's the afternoon of the meeting that Neal was talking about.
Oh, that's another thing. I'm in charge of the table for that for October 9th.
Okay.
And Reverend Charles Johnson, who's in charge of the Pastors for Texas Kids, I'm responsible for 8 people getting them at my table. So if there is anybody who would like to go to that breakfast, it's a freebie thing. And if you would like to, go and eat, and let me know, because I have to get 8 people at my table.
What time is it again?
7:30 it's that big church, what is it, First Church at the corner of Broadway and the Loop. And it's at 7:30 in the morning. So if anybody in here would like to help fill up my table,
I'll do my best. I will talk, but
okay,
anybody else,
perfect. Thank
let us
you.
know. Also, the November meeting is on an odd date, and I want to explain why as briefly as I can. We try to schedule Tim Lee periodically to come talk to us, and I got my request in very early, and they confirmed that he would be at our October meeting day on October the 9th. Well, she had to send an alternative date, and I think I picked October the 2nd, and they confirmed for October the 9th. And about a month later, I got an email saying that Tim can't be there, we're going to have to go to your alternative date. And then I found out our district, I think Gene and mine, our district meeting is on October the 2nd. So we would be in Nacogdoches trying to get back over here in time for that, which wouldn't be possible anyway. The only other day, by then, he booked up solid. That's what I get for doing something ahead of time once in my life. So the only other day he had was, it made sense, was November the 27th, I think it is. So he'll be here that day, and we want to have a good turnout. Y'all have heard him before, you know how full of information he is and how important it is to know those things. So we'll be here and bring somebody, encourage other people to attend. Also, I'm going to send information out to the other units around, and I'm sure we'll have some of them attend also, and it'll be here, I believe, so. And I believe that's for Facebook page is active, and it should say public. Gene, I did send me that email this morning, or okay, and I had already printed this, or I already sent it to Gene. Gene was able to get it printed for us today. I had to work this morning, yesterday, so I didn't have time. Thank goodness we wouldn't have had one. But anyway, in my haste to get that Facebook information, I left the L out of the public, so. Gene saw it, went back in, and inserted an L with a name pen, so thank her for catching it. I'm gonna go back and make a correction on it, and put, the one that goes in the file will be correct, unless there's something else wrong with it. Does anybody have any questions or comments? I want to thank everybody for all they do. I'm not going to name everybody, but I know I forget somebody. But thanks for everything y'all do to make this happen. And any questions or suggestions?
Tell them to eat on the way out, so Margaret doesn't have to eat all this stuff.
More refreshments. So be sure and get some more refreshments. And I think our district president told us to get pictures of officers sent in before the district meeting. So I need the officers as quickly as possible after I shut up to come up here and let's get a picture made. I used to talk so long. So we can get that out of the way. And is there anything else that we need to do or need to say before we adjourn?
Yes, we have 53. Did someone pass the table and didn't sign in? So we have.
Yeah, I haven't signed in because I got there early, but remember if you haven't signed in.
We signed you in, but you didn't sign in? Okay, so that would be 54. We signed you in, so, but we did.
Okay, thanks.
And don't forget your name tags.
Don't forget to leave your name tag. I apparently didn't leave mine at one previous meeting. Okay, thanks for coming, and let's have this good or better turnout next time. We'll see you in October.